Heavenly Father in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, right? So the lesson I want to bring out today, right, is us as men.
Hold on.
It's too far. No, it's not even on. No. See?
Was it preventable?
Lock in.
Lock in, brother. One more time. Go ahead.
All right. We ready now? We live? We good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to the Most High God Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shai. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. So the lesson I want to get into today is how us as men, we need to do better for this next generation of children, right? Because in all actuality, as us being men and finding this truth a little bit later in our life, we actually have a bigger responsibility to make sure that these children find it early in their life, right? So, one thing we got to remember, right? Children can be a very good thing, and sometimes they can be a very bad thing when not taught the right way, right? So give me what you got.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 127 and verse 3.
Bring it out.
Lo, children are an heritage of Yahweh.
So children are a heritage of the Most High God Yahweh, right? So it's supposed to be a blessing to have children, right? When the Most High God gives you children, it's supposed to be a blessing. But it's only a blessing if you raise them up in what? The standard of keeping the commandments and being obedient to the Most High God, right? But as we look now at our people in these times, it's not happening like that, right? These children are running rampant out here. Children are becoming murderers. They're becoming drug addicts. They're rebellious to their parents, and they're rebellious against the Most High God, and it's leading them to destruction, right? So give me what you got.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 12.
16.
Bring it out.
As for my people, children are their oppressors.
So the Most High God said, as for His people, children are their oppressors, right? And children have become the oppressors because that's why these 15 and 16-year-olds are killing each other. They're killing elders. They're shooting up schools. All right, like it's becoming a thing to where now you can't even look at children as tender and delicate and as obedient and looking at a good image of them and being like, you know what, you raised your kids right as being a father, right? So finish that.
As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them.
And it says women rule over them. That means the father is not around to teach them guidance, right? Because if we look at our heritage, right, it always came a time where, especially the boys, the man came and he took the son and he kept him under his wing because he had to teach him how to be a man, teach him what life is going to require. How you doing, bro? You got a question?
We talked on before.
No question? You just listening? Okay. So yeah, it came a time where the man would take the son under his wing and he would start to teach him what it's like to be a man. First and foremost, how do you be a man? You keep the commandments of God, right? So if you're not keeping the commandments of God, your kids essentially become a curse to you because they make you look bad, right? So bring out what you got.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 16 and verse 1. Desire not a multitude of unprofitable children.
Read that again.
Desire not a multitude of unprofitable children.
So the scriptures say desire not a multitude of unprofitable children. Children that don't produce good fruit. Children that are disobedient to their parents. Children that are disobedient to the Most High God, right? Keep reading.
Neither delight in ungodly sons.
And don't delight in ungodly sons, right? There's a lot of people who are proud of their children for being in foolishness, right? They're proud of their children for being thugs. They're proud of their children for being gangsters. They're proud of their children for breaking the Sabbath. They're proud of their children for breaking the commandments of God, right? For being okay with that kind of behavior, right? Is that all of that? All right, read it again for me.
Desire not the multitude of unprofitable children.
Uh-huh.
Neither delight in ungodly sons.
So do not delight in ungodly sons, right? As your sons, when they grow up, you have to show them how to be a man, right? And the Bible tells us how to teach our kids to be a man. Proverbs 22:6. Read out what you got.
Hey, hold on, I have something on here too. Salakia.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could, you got the 1611. Watch this. So Ummah al-Islam says apocrypha. Boys reading anything but the Quran. Shake my head.
I wouldn't read that Quran if you paid me.
That's right. Hey, and I read it.
Flip to it
It's
and
not that good.
on it. Watch this.
Not the book that teaches you it's okay to deal with children, right?
Oh boy.
Marry 9-year-olds.
Here, flip it. The Apocrypha. What book is it?
Yeah. In the original 1611, right? Before it was taken out, right? Before they tried to hide it. And the crazy part is that's what Apocrypha means, right? The hidden one, right? So look, No, I would never read the Quran, and I would continue to read the Bible and not the Quran because the Quran is very unprofitable. It teaches you to be everything but a godly man. All right? It teaches you that it's okay to sleep with children. Your prophet was a pedophile. It teaches you it's okay to beat your wife. Why would I subscribe to some BS like that? You're lucky I can't cuss. All right? Why would I subscribe to some BS like that? So before you come on my comments trying to tell me to read the unholy Quran, all right, maybe you should read it fully and tell me if you fully agree with it. And if you do fully agree with it, you just need to go do something with yourself, all right? Like, go somewhere and count something. That's what you need to go do, all right? So back to my lesson about how we're going to get these children right? So give me what you got. Take it. Yeah, bring that out.
Book of 1 Kings, chapter 2, verse 2. I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man.
So now I'm going to show you how to show yourself a man according to the Bible, right? Go ahead, keep reading. Go to the next verse.
Verse 3. And keep the charge of the Lord.
And do what?
And keep the charge of the Lord.
That's something the Quran don't teach, right? Keep reading.
Thy God to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and commandments, and his statutes and his and his judgments and his testimonies.
That's how you show yourself a man. Why don't the Quran teach that, right? Why does the Quran teach that boys are going to be like precious pearls in your kingdom, right? Why does it teach that? Instead of teaching these boys that they need to grow up and keep the charge of the Lord and do what they can to be considered as close to godly as they can be.
That's right.
That's what's the problem with you Muslims. It's always the Quran, the Quran, the Quran. Y'all don't even read the Quran. And we see that day in and day out when we sit here and we have conversations with y'all. Because when we bring out the verse and we show you that your prophet be touching on kids, y'all be, yes, it's in there and it's been in there. Go read it, you'll find it for yourself, right? Read that again for me.
God.
So back to the lesson. We're back to regular scheduled programming.
Right. Book of 1 Kings, chapter 2, verse 3. Keep the charge of the Lord thy God.
Keep the charge of the Lord thy God. This is the first thing David told Solomon about being a man, right? Go ahead.
To walk in his ways, to keep his statutes.
To walk in his ways and keep his statutes, right? So David told Solomon to do this. And this is the same thing as us as Israelite men should be telling our sons, right? Go ahead.
And his commandments and his judgments and his testimonies as it is written in the law of Moses.
Follow the law and the testimony, right? Teach your children the law and the testimony. Teach them the judgments of the Most High God. Teach them to fear their God and also reverence their God. Teach them about their heritage, their feast days, their customs, how the Most High wants us to conduct ourselves in public and in private, right? Teach them to love their neighbor, and then you wouldn't have this problem of kids killing kids and the kids going to jail for the rest of their life. Okay, I literally know somebody right now who's fighting for their life in prison. He's all of 24 years old, and he's fighting for his life. Why? Because he does not keep the commandments of the Lord. Because if he was keeping the commandments of the Lord, he wouldn't be out trying to kill his own people. Go ahead.
As it is written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all thou doest, and whatever thou turnest thyself.
And if you keep the charge of the Lord, all his commandments, his statutes, and his testimonies, you will be prosperous in life. Why would you as a father not want your son to be prosperous in life? Solomon, what did he do when he first started to reign? He kept the charge of the Lord, he kept the commandments, and at that time, up to his date, he was the wisest man, he was the richest man. He had the most resources, and he had the whole world at his foot. Why did it get stripped away from him? Because he did what? He went away from the charge of the Lord. The same thing we continue to do nowadays. We go away from the charge of the Lord. And then we don't teach our children to continue to keep the charge of the Lord, right? So bring on what you got.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it.
So you train up a child in the way that they should go, and when they get old, they should not depart from it, right? And that goes two ways, right? Because if you train the children up to be wrong, or if you don't train them up the right way, what's going to happen? It's going to be hard for them to escape corrupt ways, right? That's why it's so hard for our children to get away from what they're doing, because this is all they know. And then they get into their 20s and they get into their 30s, and they don't know nothing else but robbing, stealing, and killing. They don't know the commandments of the Lord. They don't know the charge of the Lord. They don't know you're supposed to love your neighbor. They don't know that when you lay with a woman, you're supposed to stay with a woman. They don't know that you have to raise your kids. There is no, I don't want the baby. No, when you lay down with that woman, you knew what it was. You know it laying down with a woman begets children. So, read that again.
It's the Proverbs 22 and 6. Train up a child in the way he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it.
And he will not depart from it, right? So you're supposed to teach your children the way. You start off young, right? You start them young. How they learn young is what translates into what they become when they become an adult, right? Give me Proverbs 4 and 2. All right, bring it out.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 7.
Bring it out.
And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children.
And thou shalt teach them diligently unto your children. That means constantly, all the time, and keep it straightforward at all times. You don't stop. You teach it to them all throughout their childhood. Because when it comes to their adulthood, guess what? They're not going to miss a beat. Because it's been instilled in them. It's been imprinted on their brains since they were a youngster. We don't teach them that when they're young. We teach them the BS. And what happens? They grow up and they be on BS. You're literally causing your children to get judged by the Most High God because you didn't teach them right. And then you wonder why our kids and us are still going through curses. Because we don't teach the next generation. That's why it's essential that we come out here and we teach these kids, right? We come out here and we talk to the elders too, but we also talk to y'all, the next generation. Y'all the ones that's going to literally continue to keep this truth going. When the elders at One West, when they first came out, you think that they thought that, oh, our generation was going to be the only generation? No, they started something and they passed it on to the next, and we're supposed to continue to do that. Because there's nothing more beautiful than children being born and raised in the law, statutes, and commandments of God.
Right.
We got our heritage back, but they get to be born with it. It's a huge responsibility that's on us to do that, right? Bring that out.
And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk to them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
And that's big, right? Because a lot of fathers nowadays in the world, they think that when it comes to dealing with children, it's just about paying the bills and that's it. No, you're supposed to interact with your children. You're supposed to teach your children. You're supposed to talk with your children. Learn your children, right? Because when you learn your children's ways, you can stop a lot of stuff before it gets started. But that takes time. It can't just be I go to work so the women just have to deal with the children. You have to be able to deal with them too as being their father. Because when that boy gets of age, he's gonna be with you. And if you really look at it, right? When after Isaac got weaned off the breast, right? He was around Abraham the whole time. Abraham taught him the charge of the Lord. When you look at Jacob and his sons, he was around his sons. That's why in Genesis 49, he was able to give you all the traits of his sons and how they would translate to the later days because he knew his sons. As us being fathers, we have to learn our children, right? We can't just be out here like, oh, I'm just paying the rent and everything's okay. No, we have to teach them the charge of the Lord, right? Bring that out. Are you done with that? Did you read it? No, not yet. Hold that. So you bring that out?
This Proverbs 4 and 2. For I give you good doctrine.
So the Most High gave us good doctrine and he wants us to pass it down to our children. What is the good doctrine?
Forsake ye not my law.
Don't abandon the law, right? Because when you operate in the law, and you understand in the law, it tells you to teach your children the law, what's going to happen is you bear good fruit generation through generation, right? And that's what we're trying to do. We have rebuilding to do, but we have to talk to these kids. These kids need to be rehabilitated, right? Because guess what? It's not all just their fault. They're going through a lot. They're fatherless. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand what they're going through. But as us being brothers who've been through it, we understand what you're going through. That's why when we come here and talk to you, we know exactly how you feel. But that's not no excuse for you to be out here doing the recklessness and the foolishness that you're doing. That's why we got to correct you. That's where that rebuke comes from, right? Read that again.
Right. For I give you good doctrine. Forsake ye not my law.
What's the next one? Read the next one.
For I was my father's son, tender and only beloved in the sight of my mother.
Okay, keep going.
He taught me also, and he said unto me, let thine heart retain my words, keep my commandments, and live.
So there you go. Let your heart retain the words of the Lord and keep his commandments, and then you will live. And not just live just to be alive, you will actually have a prosperous life. Because God promised prosperity to those that obey him, right? So bring that out.
God. Book of Psalms, chapter 78, verse 5 in the GNT. He gave laws to the people of Israel and commandments to the descendants of Jacob. He instructed our ancestors to teach his laws to their children.
He instructed them to what?
To teach his laws to their children.
Teach the laws to your children, man. Your sons and your daughters. This is essential. We need righteous women. We need righteous men. We need fathers who are accountable, and we need mothers who are accountable. We need fathers who know the law to teach the law, and we need mothers who know the law to teach the law. We need fathers to teach the men how to be men, and we need mothers to teach the women how to be women, okay? We need to come back to loving each other and actually trying to operate as a nation. Because how everybody wants to talk about rebellion. Everybody wants to talk about going against the system, but we can't do that if we going against each other. You have to teach love, right? Hatred is not something that people just do. Hatred is taught. Hatred is built through experiences. So if you stop those experiences, what's going to happen? You're going to be able to what? Instill love in your children. That's the point, right? Finish that.
So that the next generation might learn them.
So that the next generation might learn them. And that's the whole point of this lesson. The next generation needs to know these commandments. They need to know the faith in Yahweh Shai, right? They need to know obedience to the Most High God. They need to know that they're Israelites. They need to know that they're special. They need to know that God holds them to a higher standard, right? Because if they don't know that, then they're going to think they're just what? A nigga. They're going to think they're just a spick. They're going to think that we're just gangsters. They're going to think we're just thugs. But no, we're more than that, right? We're actually the light of the earth. We're the salt of the earth. We're God's chosen people. But that comes with what? Also living up to it. And how do you live up to it? Through the obedience of the Most High God, through His commandments, right? That's it? Go ahead.
And in this way, they also will put their trust in the Most High, God, and not forget what He has done, but always obey His commandments.
And you instill the trust of the Most High God, you instill the commandments of the Most High God, and then they're going to know their God just like you knew their God, just like our forefathers knew God, right? It's supposed to be passed down. So when you don't pass down this to your children, you do a disservice to them because they have no understanding of how they're supposed to operate. A lot of us are out here looking to find our purpose, when in all actuality, your purpose is to be obedient to God, and everything else will be laid out for you. A man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man understand his own way? Right. But through obedience, you will find the right way. God will show you the right way, right? Is that the end of that?
No.
Go ahead.
And they will not be like their ancestors, a rebellious and disobedient people whose trust in God was never firm.
And then you stop the disobedience. You stop the rebellious, right? The rebelliousness. And they don't become like the ancestors that went away from God. And it's crazy that they said that, right? Because bring out what you got too. One more? All right, go ahead, finish that.
Right? Whose trust in God was never firm and who did not remain faithful to Him.
And they didn't remain faithful to Him because they didn't trust Him, right? And not trusting in God is kind of like strange because that's the creator of everything. That's the supreme being who has no bounds, no limits, and He can do whatever He wants. And He's always kept His promise. There's never been a time that God has not did something that He said He was going to do. Right. So when He says that I will bless you for being obedient, He's wanting to bless you for being obedient. All right? And like He said, don't be like your ancestors who went away from the Most High God. And it's beautiful that came out through the Spirit because this next scripture is going to go with that, right?
This is Exodus 23:2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
So you don't follow a multitude to do evil. Don't follow the multitude that's doing evil in your ancestors' ways who did evil and went against the Most High God, right? Read that again from the top.
Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment.
Okay, so just harping on the top part, right? Don't follow a multitude to do evil. Okay, when you see people doing stuff, and you know it's against the Most High God, you're not supposed to follow them. And you're supposed to teach your children to not follow them, right? Teach your children to be leaders and not followers. The only entity that's supposed to be following is the Most High God. All right? And when somebody's telling you to do the commandments, take that good advice and you apply it and you use it. But other than that, don't follow a multitude to do evil because you're going to get judged right along with them, right? Give me Isaiah 59:7.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 59 and verse 7. Their feet run to evil.
So when you don't teach your children the commandments, it's easy for their feet to run to evil, right? It's easy to do evil. It's hard to be disciplined. It's hard to live a righteous life, right? Because there's going to be a lot of peer pressure in the world. There's going to be a lot of evilness around you, and evilness can be enticing, right? I would be a liar if I told you that it's not enticing. It's easy to be lawless, but when you live according to the law, you live what? A more higher quality of life. You deal with less stress than people who are breaking the law, right? We have to come back to these commandments. You teach your children that. So what? Steve, read that again from the top.
And their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood.
And that goes back to what I was saying when I first started the lesson about these kids who are killing each other and killing elders and killing women and smaller children because they're just out here shooting and not even paying attention, right? They shed innocent blood. And you think you're going to shed innocent blood and get away with it? Absolutely not, right? Bring out what you got.
It's the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 2 and verse 26 in the NLT. Abner shouted to Joab, "Must we always be killing each other? Do you realize that bitterness is the only result? When will you call off your men from chasing their Israelite brothers?"
So when are we going to stop killing each other, right? Because killing each other in war and going against each other creates more bitterness. And it's going to go generation to generation to generation to generation. Somebody has to stop the cycle. And the cycle is going to stop when the fathers get back in the home and they teach their children to stop being so damn emotional, right? They got to stop teaching their children that, hey, somebody, oh, you got in a fight, you lost, now you want to kill somebody. Or I just want to ride around with a gun because everybody else is doing it. I remember before 2019, you couldn't even be outside with a mask on without getting harassed. Now everybody's just riding around with masks on, and like it's outrageous nowadays, right? These kids are just over the top, and we have to bring them back down to reality because guess what? They're gonna keep killing each other, keep being shot in the street by the police, and God is gonna continue to judge them because He's gonna hold up His end of the bargain. You obey, and I'll bless you, or you're gonna disobey, and you're gonna be cursed. And we living through these curses. Let's uplift the curses, not just for ourselves, but for our kids. And for our grandchildren that we won't get to see, but later down the line, you want them to live in prosperity too, because you owe it to them. It has to start somewhere. It has to start somewhere. Why not start with us? This is the generation where you see a lot of our brothers are waking up. So now we have to use the gift that the Most High God has given us and pass it down to the next generation. It's a selfish thing to hold on to it and not teach the next generation, right? We have to get these kids together. These kids are the next generation, and they're going to keep this going. And the truth has to keep going. But it's only going to keep going if we do what? We continue to teach our children, and they keep it going, right? We owe that service to these kids, all right? Give me 1 Thessalonians 5:5. And then give me Ecclesiastes 10:6.
What's Matthew? Matthew 12:24 say? 12:34.
Book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5 and verse 5. Ye are the children of light.
So we are the children of the light. As us being Israelites, right? We are the children of the light. But what happened? We went away from God, and now we dwell and we live in darkness, right? We have to come back to that light. The light comes through what? The commandments, and we have to keep that light. It has to go from generation to generation to generation, right? The Most High God didn't just tell our ancestors that came out of Egypt that you guys got to keep the commandments. He said you guys keep these commandments throughout your generations. So that means we have to continue to teach them throughout our generations. Is that it?
Ye are the children of light and the children of the day. We are not the children of night nor darkness.
We are not the children of night nor darkness, okay? But we are dwelling in darkness because we don't keep the commandments of the Most High God. And when you don't keep the commandments of the Most High God and you're dwelling in darkness, right? Bring out what you got.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 6. For as the crackling of thorns...
10 and 6.
This Ecclesiastes 10 and 6. It says, folly is set in great dignity.
And when you dwell in darkness, folly becomes set in great dignity, right? Prime example, the music, right? We are the only nation of people who glorify killing each other. We're the only nation of people who glorify our women being whores. We're the only nation of people who us glorifying pimping on our women, right? And we're the ones who glorify, not taking care of our kids, right? Prime example, right? Anthony Edwards, right? Famous basketball player. He's going around and he's smashing all these women raw and he's having all these kids. And people are like, well, he said he didn't want the baby in the first place, but bro, you're having sex with these women. What do you expect to happen?
Is that Unibrow?
Huh?
Is that Unibrow?
Nah, that's Anthony Davis. Yeah, but no, Anthony Edwards, the Timberwolves, yeah. So he's having all these children and he's not taking care of it. Oh, I'll just give you the $1 million for the child support, but I don't want to be in a kid's life. That's trash, bro. That's trash. That's folly set in great dignity, and people are in these comments congratulating him. Oh, bro, he won. He ain't got to pay child support his whole life. Oh, yeah, that $1 million ain't nothing, because guess what? He ain't got to pay no more down the line. She can't get no more from him. Not even knowing if you're taking care of your kids, you won't have to go through that.
That part.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you won't even have to go through that, bro. Babies don't need $1 million. You know what I'm saying? But this is what happens when folly is set in great dignity. The BS that's going on in the world, we glorify it. And that's why our nation can't get ahead. We glorify raping, robbing, murdering, killing, stealing, OGs not dealing with the kids, youngsters not respecting the elders. We glorify all this. With friends like that, who needs enemies?
That part.
You feel what I'm saying? And then we always want to talk about how everybody's going hard on us. We make it easy. We make it easy. We're our own worst enemy. And then it's Esau. You see what I'm saying? We're our own worst enemy. Because guess what? The minute we start keeping the commandments and we come back to God, the rest of the stuff don't even matter no more. We congratulate murder. You know what I'm saying? We give plaques, millions of dollars, and guess what? These people these other nations, specifically the white man, they love it because they pay for us to do this. They pay for us to put this music out. They pay for us to sit here and promote us killing each other. And we love it. You're not cool unless you're a gangster. I remember, I was born in 1995, and I grew up in the early 2000s. If a woman was promiscuous, it was taboo. Now, if you're not promiscuous, you're considered a square.
That part.
That's crazy. What they say on Instagram, because I remember back in the day, a girl would send you pictures and she'd be like, don't show nobody. Now she's selling them for $4.99. It's crazy.
Less than Netflix.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Like, we have to stop. We have to stop. And this lesson is not just about the sons, it's about our daughters too, because we need to raise respectable women. Right? We need to raise godly women. Because guess what? As much as the gender war goes on between men and women, I'm getting a little off topic, but as much as the gender war goes on between men and women,
explain that for us, man.
Huh?
Explain that for us.
So the gender war, right? And it's so bad because it's so worse between black men, black women, Hispanic men, Hispanic women. We go at each other, and we're the only ones who sit on the internet all day and chop up the other gender like we're not the same people, right? Black men and black women to the whole world are considered two different people. Just like Hispanic men and Hispanic women are considered two different people to the world. Because we sit on the internet all day and we ostracize the other one and act like we're not the same people. And this is so bad about it. We work as a team to destroy This is so cold, right? We worked as a team to destroy our own nation, but then we don't want to work as a team to fix it.
And don't let a black or Hispanic get together.
Like even on
you might as well just put the gasoline and set the fire on the house on fire yourself, right? So look, we don't try to fix the problem together. We want, hey, nah, the women gotta get in order first. Oh no, the men gotta start being men. No, the women gotta start being submissive. Now the men gotta start being masculine. How about we both do what the hell we supposed to do and then we come together and fix the problem? Right? Because ain't no way, right? I'm finna be like, my masculinity is based off a woman being feminine.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But these are the arguments that are being having on these podcasts. These podcasts are the biggest divisions that you see right now.
Yep.
Because it's nothing, it's no solutions, it's just problems. We know what the problem is, we divided. So what do we do next? What's the solution? We gotta come together. We don't wanna work together. We've all been so, go ahead.
Oh, so like, just one sister on here. Yo, shalom to everybody in the chat. Somebody said Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to you, brother. So Eliana Just Els, the sister be on here a lot for us. She says a lot of the parents of today are children of people who were caught up in the crack epidemic, though. So sad.
Hey, and you know what, sister? I agree with that, right? Because crack plagued my family, right? So I know what it's like to go through that, and that was a big thing that really caused the division. You know what I mean? And a lot of people's parents being on drugs, and then them not being able to attend to their children, and then them being strung out, and then the kids being forced to raise themselves. You know what I mean? That plagued the whole community of people, right? And see, like, so it's not just happening in the black community. It happens in the black and the Hispanic community. The war on drugs has destroyed us, right? But our Heavenly Father has been gracious enough to do what? To give a certain generation of men and women the healing so that they can be the light for the next generation, right? And that's what we're coming out here and we're trying to do, right? Because it's only so long that we have to sit and be like, oh, damn, my parents were on drugs, or my grandparents were on drugs. It comes a time when we have to do something about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I appreciate you for harping on that too, because a lot of people don't understand that, because it be outside people who haven't dealt with what we went through, who want to have an opinion on how we came up and why we are how we are. They don't know what we've been through, you know what I mean? So, you got anything else?
Yeah, I just want to chime in on that too, because in the same way how there's people that are raised up with fathers that are alcoholics, there'll be that kid that's like, well, I'm an alcoholic because my dad was an alcoholic. But then there'll be that kid that's like, I don't even want nothing to do with alcohol because my dad was an alcoholic.
Exactly.
I mean, can't blame it on that all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So what we got to do is we have to come and we have to make a choice. Do we want to be different or do we want to follow down that line, right? Because every generation has their own responsibility. And if we sit and be like, well, my parents did this, so I can't do this, you're handicapping yourself, right? Because I'm going to tell you something, right? My pops, drug dealer, in the streets, went to prison 10 years. Mom, his queen pin, doing the same stuff, right? I went down that road too for a majority of my life, but now look where I'm at now, right? Because the Most High God was gracious enough to do what? Showed me a different way of life, right? And with that different way of life and with me living how I'm living now, I have to make the choice. Do you want to give this to the next generation? Do you want to hold on to this information? Because what did Christ say to the servant that held on to his talents? He called him wicked. So we're supposed to do what? We have to keep giving this to the next generation. We have to give this to all our people because the healing has to come sometime. The cycle has to be broken sometime. So if you have the knowledge to break the cycle, use it. If you're harboring it, you're selfish and you don't care about your nation, right? So we can't keep making the excuse that, hey, it was drugs. Yes, it was drugs, but guess what? I'm not on drugs. My brothers ain't on drugs. I'm pretty sure you're not on drugs, sister. So what do we do with us not being plagued by that and with us having a different chance and a different route? We have to do something with that.
She had a precept for you too.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so if one of y'all can get it, she says, well, mine too, Isaiah 1, verses 4 through 6 is a precept she put on. Nicholas Jacob, Shalom, King.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 5 through 6?
4 through 6.
4 through 6. Verse 4. A sinful nation and a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked me, the Holy One of Israel, unto anger. They are gone away backward.
So stop right there, right? So that's a beautiful precept, and that goes into the lesson that I was talking about, right? We have went away from the Most High God, and then, like I said, this generation we're coming back to the Most High God, right? And with that, with coming back to the Most High God, that's where the healing comes, right? That's where the understanding of, okay, my people are going through it comes from. And yes, we're stiff-necked, we're stricken, we're laden with iniquity, and we were evildoers. But it does not have to be like that forever. There can be change, and there should be change. But the change doesn't happen until we acknowledge that we did what? That we went away from God. Because everybody wants to try everything for the healing except coming back to the commandments, right? So you're keeping it with the sister one.
Isaiah 1, 4 through 6.
Isaiah 4 through 6?
Yeah, so he read 4, so you can read verse 5.
All right, Isaiah 1, 4 through 6.
Yeah. So you can read verse 5.
Verse 5. Why should ye be stricken any more? Ye will revolt more and more.
So why should we be stricken anymore? Should there come a time where the change comes? Why should we continue to have to go through the things we go through, right? It has to come a time to where we have to make the change. Like, when I first came into the truth, right? When I used to watch street teaching videos, right? Brothers always said, the Lord is waiting on y'all to get your stuff together. Right? So when do we get our stuff together? If we're tired of all these curses, we're tired of seeing our people go through it, then we have to stand up. We have to make a change. We have to do better. And then we have to teach the next generation to be better. Right? Because one thing that I can't agree with people like Malcolm X and people like the Black Panthers, they always wanted what was better for their people. And they never taught it through division amongst their own people. It was separate from the people that are doing harm to you. Right? Separate from the people that are causing you to fall, that are causing you to be downtrodden, that are putting the drugs in your neighborhood, putting the guns in your neighborhood, making it accessible for a 12 or 13 or 14 and a 15-year-old to even get a gun. You have to separate from those people and live your lifestyle different from what they live. And that starts with doing what? Keeping the commandments and also teaching your children. You have to guard your children with your life. Because guess what? When the next generation becomes messed up, then it just becomes a domino effect. And that's how we got here. Right? That once we went into Babylon and then the northern kingdom went into Assyria, it was downhill from there because we just kept stacking sin on top of sin on top of sin, and it didn't stop. And that's why we are where we are now, right? Verse 6.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 6. From the sole of the foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds. bruises, petrifying sores, they have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment.
And you can take that as literal, but I take that as spiritual. We're spiritually wounded. Right? From our head to our toe, we're spiritually wounded, right? And when you're spiritually wounded, it's so much more hard to recover than when you're physically wounded, right? Because when you're spiritually wounded, it takes soul searching. A lot of people don't want to do the soul searching. A lot of people don't want to look themselves in the mirror and be like, you know what, it's me. A lot of people don't want to look themselves in the mirror and be like, I need to do better. A lot of people can't even stare at that reflection in the mirror long enough to even do that type of soul searching.
Yep.
Because you start doing stuff so bad and sin starts stacking upon sin, you don't even recognize the person in the mirror no more. You know what I mean? So it's you know, we have to take accountability. You know what I mean? We're the adults now. Our parents are no longer responsible for us. Yes, they might have had drug issues, alcohol issues, being in prison, being in jail, but we adults now. Like, that don't even matter no more.
Right.
Because now, guess what? God is holding us responsible for what we do. Everybody is held accountable for what they do. So God's not going to want to hear your parents were on drugs, so you didn't obey me. We don't get that pass. So we have to do better, and we have to be better and teach the next generation, right? And so is that all on that?
Yeah, she just finished it off with something right now, though. Everyone's saying, there's a brother saying, power, bring that out. This is what she just put right now. She said, Khan, 2-time felon, the Most High protected me to get this truth. Hallelujah.
All praises to the Most High, and I pray you continue to get the healing you need. I pray every Israelite gets the healing that they deserve. Right. You know what I mean? And that's what we come out here too, because we're trying to invoke that healing on our people. You know what I mean? We see our people in all different types of situations, whether it be depressed, anxiety, drug issues, street issues, like whatever the case may be, we're trying to get them out of that. You know what I mean? And the blueprint is in these scriptures. And that's how we come out here week in and week out, not just to prophesy the downfall of Babylon, but also to give our people healing and to teach our people how to get your life from where it's at to where it could be. You know what I mean? That's the whole goal.
And then also then we finna heal the other nations.
Yeah, and then but let's worry about our people first, right, babe? We'll get there. You know what I'm saying? We'll get there.
Don't worry.
But hey, how can, man, last week when we was out here, shout out my brother Dakar, he asked a beautiful question. How can you get the whole world in order if your house ain't even in order? You see what I'm saying? We got to get our house in order. Our house has to be in order first.
Right.
So when we get us together and then we get our nation together, then we'll go talk to everybody else. Right. But for now, it's for the house of Israel. We are here to wake up Jacob's kids. You know what I mean? So we can get back to what our original state was supposed to be, which was rulers of the earth, kings of the earth, gods of the earth. You know what I'm saying? Our women being princesses of the earth. You know what I mean? Us being and living in peacefulness and righteousness and flourishing. We have to get back to that. But first, you heal. You bind up the wounds, you heal. Then you repent. And after you repent, you start living a life in accordance to the Most High God, and then you let Him do the rest, right? Because who are better hands that you could be in but the Most High God? You know what I mean? So let's all do our part, and let's all, each one teach one. Our people that we see down, have that conversation with them. Whether they want to hear it or not, you got to have that conversation with them because it's for their greater good, and it is life or death. That's another thing. That's the thing that people forget. These commandments, being obedient to God, it's life or death. The wages of sin are death. We've seen our people go through tragedy, death, famine, and all that because they didn't listen to God. Why continue to keep that cycle going? Break the cycle. We got to break the cycle. That's the only way we're going to get better as a people. All right? So, any more questions on there? All right. I'm going to wrap up with that, right? And with that, I give all glory, honor, and praises to the Most High God Yahweh. La Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Shalom.
Let me see.
Yeah, I got my list.
I was giving you the strings.
Shalom, family. Shalom, family. Give me 1 second.
Teaching these leads right here.
Who got to listen?
I got some.
Yeah? All right.
It's slow, bro.
What that got to do with anything, man? Get the word out.
To talk to people, man.
I got some.
Turn on the mic.
Oh, okay.
Shalom, King.
Hey, do I look for testing?
I'm gonna tell my
Yeah,
red.
y'all out here. Well, funny.
I'll go for a little bit.
Me the book of Enoch chapter. Jubilees. Oh, I know exactly what you're doing.
No, get that cashew.
Book of Exodus 23 too.
And while you get that, right? So don't be just another brick in the wall. It says most of your granddaddy's white, you're condemning yourself. The brother's lesson was literally on raising our kids and getting our families right, and you're worried about this. This is the problem, bro. Y'all be more worried about racism than what you guys claim that we are. Got nothing to do with what we're talking about. The first comment that was literally on the Matazaz's thing, powerful lesson, by the way, brother. First thing that he puts on there was, there's no difference between Jew and Greek. What does that have to do with anything?
That brother said nothing about nothing like
Come on, bro.
Can I make a point?
And it's something. Hold on. And it's something that everybody, whether you're white, Asian, Arab, whatever you may be, pink and purple, you could apply it to your life and be better, bro. But that's what you're worried about.
Yeah, I think you all are the racist ones.
Literally 2 weeks ago,
remember I told-
when it was raining and we were standing right there, I literally made a lesson on loving everybody. Not once did I mention anything about you specifically loving your Israelite brothers only. I clearly said it doesn't matter, bro. We should be loving each other regardless of anything.
Right.
The reason why we go towards the Israelites is because in all reality the world needs us to get in order for the whole world to be in order, man. That's what it is.
Right. Be considerate, man. Be considerate of the conversation.
Remember we was talking to the Asian lady at First Friday, and she was like, "You guys are so worried about racism." I
Hold on.
said,
You can't even hear you. Go
Oh,
ahead.
we were talking to an Asian lady at First Friday a couple weeks back, and she tried to harp that, "Oh, you guys are so worried about race," but I'm like, "You came up here and started talking about race. You wondered why Christ was a certain color and how he can't be black and all that." I'm like, "You came up here asking that question. I was finna go into a whole other lesson." So y'all be more worried about race than we are. We've already established who we are and what needs to be done. Y'all get on here so bad trying to combat us, and y'all start talking about race, and then it becomes that conversation. And you don't like the answers you get because the Bible starts harping on what race is what and who gets the favor from God, and y'all don't like it.
Yeah. And Tribe of Issachar says the pseudo books of Enoch, Jasher, and Jubilees belong in the trash. That was a joke, brother. we don't read those books, brother.
Hey, brother, Khan.
Khan.
That's right. He's like, hold on. The
Unsubscribe.
refiners? Unsubscribe. Let me unsubscribe to these brothers. They going on. What's it called? Let's get the actual books of the Lord.
That's right.
You get that? All right, man. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, who that's the real name in the Paleo Hebrew, right? And his son, Yahweh Shai, right? Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, who your mama, your auntie, your teacher, your coworker calls Jesus. That ain't his name. The letter J was only invented less than 500 years ago, right? Jesus ain't his name, man. Right? But we do follow Christ up here. We're the real Christians. Nice to meet y'all, man. All right? Let's get this on.
Verse 3.
Come on.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 23 and verse 3.
Uh-huh.
Neither shalt thou countenance a poor man in his cause.
He got the Enoch one.
Verse 2, Salagia.
Salak.
Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil,
Right.
neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment.
Right? So it says, don't follow the multitude to do evil, right? The brother Amantazar brought that out when he was out here, man, giving his last lesson, man. Right? Don't follow the multitude to do evil, man. Right? So when you see, once you come into this truth, man, right? We're supposed to follow after who? Follow the steps of Yahweh Shai, right? Jesus Christ, right? We're supposed to follow after him, right? We're not supposed to follow after the multitude of our people, right? So-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, right? Popping pills, smoking, getting drunk, acting a fool, shaking buns, right? We're not supposed to be out here following the multitude to do evil, right? The Most High told us that we're supposed to be set apart. We're a holy people. The word Kodash in the Hebrew, right? We're set apart. We can't be, if we're claiming that we're followers of Christ, but when people look at us, we're doing exactly what the multitude is doing. How are we set apart, man? If we're popping pills, smoking weed, doing all this different types of stuff, how are we supposed to be that shining light in that darkness when we're blending in with darkness, man? Right? It don't make sense. Don't follow that multitude, right? Don't listen to these people that are telling you that it's okay, man. Right? You have to be the example, right? Follow after Yahweh Shai, man. You didn't see him do certain things, you don't do it, man. It's simple as that, right? We're called to be followers of him, right? He radicalized the law, right? He made it harder, right? So we have to be able to follow Christ truly and not be followers of man, followers of ourselves and our own desires and our own guilty pleasures, man, right? Because all these things, right, is not fruitful, man, right? You're not bringing in more talents, you're not bringing in more people into this fold by doing this, man, right? And if anything, you could be pushing people away ultimately, man.
That part.
Right? Because imagine I'm out here trying to tell a brother or a sister that you are a descendant of the lost 12 tribes of Israel, and they're a Christian, they're a Catholic, they're this, that, and the third, and they come and they're like, bro, I became a Christian. I've been a Christian for 2 years now. I'm going hard. I stopped smoking. I stopped doing X, Y, and Z, right? And they're gonna look at you crazy if you over here popping pills, you over here doing all different types of stuff, man. You got to be an example, right? Be a leader, right? So, give me that.
God, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 6, verse 2.
Uh-huh.
Extol not thyself.
Sirach 72.
Oh, 7 and 2?
Nah.
6 and 2 is good too. 7 and 2.
Uh-huh.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 7, verse 2.
Uh-huh.
Depart from the unjust,
Uh-huh.
and iniquity shall turn away from thee.
Depart from the unjust, man, and iniquity shall fall away from you. Those are two different words, man. Iniquity, we know that's when you're breaking God's law, aka sin, right? But there's all different types of ways that you could be doing messed up stuff without breaking the law towards your people, man, right? You could this is why it says that the laws were hanged on those two things, right? Love God and love your neighbor as yourself. Love your brothers and your sisters, man, right? If I love, this is how it's going on further, man. If I like my rib, man, I'm over here cooking up a steak dinner, right? I see a smaller piece and a bigger piece, and I give that bigger piece to my girl, right? That's not part of the law, but that's me showing love to my people, treating her as myself. I don't want somebody to treat me like that. You could apply that in all different types of scenarios, right? It's not part of the law. I understand that, but I go further than the law, man, right? I would want to go even show even more the spiritual aspects of the law, man, right? I don't want to just cut myself short either, man, right? So it says depart from the unjust, man. You shouldn't be around certain types of people, right? And you'll know it in your life because you'll start to see the fruit of it, man. You're either gonna rise up or you're gonna start lowering yourself in your spirit, man, right? You're either gonna be built up and exalted, or you're gonna start to dwell low, near to the dust, near to the ground, as the Bible says, right? In the lowest state. We don't want to be in the lowest state, man, right? We're trying to be on the highest mountaintop, showing off this light to the world, man.
That's right.
So, give me Job 4 and 8, and then you give me Sirach 18 and 15 in the GNT, and read the 16. Can't get the GNT. You heard about the GNT? So can you get a GNT first?
You don't got it on your phone either.
You got that?
4 and 8.
Uh-huh.
Con, this is the book of Job, chapter 4 and verse 8.
Uh-huh.
Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same.
Right, and we just did a lesson about this last Saturday, right? I had brought this verse out, right? And I really, Sirach 8 and 15 to 16 in the GNT. Right? So I just brought out this verse in our last class, right? So the book of Job says that even I have seen they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same, right? I was just bringing, like my brother Gabar was saying, right? Sin starts in your mind. Whatever, before you act, it starts up here in your head, man. So whatever you're gonna go into in your days, in your daily life, right? You make decisions in your head before you act it out in the physical realm, man. In your flesh, man, right? You start to visualize it, and you start to consider what different routes things will go down, right? So what I'm telling you, right here in Job chapter 4 verse 8, it says, read that again.
It says, even as I have seen they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same.
Right? So that's the thing, right? There's people that sow that seed of wickedness in your head, but before you sow that seed, somebody has to plow the ground to get you ready for that sin, right? So you might not be sinning right there, but there's a plowman. They're not the ones that plant the seed, right? They're not the reapers. They're the ones that get your mind ready to sin. You might be telling you to sin or do it right now, but they're fertilizing that ground. They're making it live for that sin to be abundant in your head, man. For you to act out these things. And you got to be careful, because the Bible says right here, the people that plant that sin and the people that plow, that sow that sin in your mind, and the people that plow to get it ready for you, they're both going to receive the same judgment in the end, man. That's what the Bible is saying. So they might not put that. They might not put a woman in front of you and tell you to commit adultery, right? But they might just start telling you like, hey, it's okay. You could watch pornography. You could do this and that. You could do X, Y, and Z, right? They're not telling you to break the law, but they're getting ready. They're getting your mind ready to do that unknowingly, man. This is why you have to. The Bible says stay away from these people, man. Right? You got that?
Yeah. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 8 and verse 15.
Go ahead.
You should not travel with anyone who is reckless.
Don't travel with anybody that's reckless. Go ahead.
It will cause you nothing but trouble. He will do any foolish thing he pleases, and you will die with him.
Right? So this is the thing, man. Right? Our people, right, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, we're a very emotional people, right? Especially nowadays, man. Right? Especially nowadays, our people are quick to, what is the biggest thing? Being crash outs with the YNs, right? Our people are quick to crash out, right? We want to, somebody messes, I was just watching a video. That this is the number one response, right? Crashing out is the number one response because we lack the ability to think and know how we feel, right? Somebody might play with you in your face and try to disrespect you and try to do X, Y, and Z. You might feel belittled. Your first reaction is going to be you up in a Glock, or you trying to stab them, or you trying to fight them. That's your flesh. That's your mind. And the reason why our people are like that is because we have a lack of self-control. We have a lack of spirituality, and ultimately we're lacking the laws of the Most High God, man.
Bring it out.
So this is what's causing our people to go off, man. Right? Ultimately, everything goes back to the laws of the Most High God. Everything starts to break down under it, right? So this is why we have to redo our minds.
That's a cute 6-cylinder.
That was cute. No smoke, no burnout on the ground.
You got some precepts in here that people bringing up. Shalom. So like I'll try to get you guys' precepts. So this is Tribe of Issachar. Brother says Jeremiah 17:9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it?
Right. And that's why it's emphatic that we have to understand that sometimes our minds and other people's minds, right, their hearts, right, the log, I think, right, we have to not follow after our own selves and our own mental things and our own devices, right? There's that scripture that says like there's a way that seems right unto a man, but the end leadeth to death, to destruction, man, right? So you got to be careful who you're listening to out here, man, right? Who you're eating from, right? Because ultimately this is everything that we're doing. Yeah, we're standing here. Everything has a spiritual aspect to it, man. And you got to be able to put those spiritual lenses on your eyes, man, so you can see things for what it is and not just seeing it one way, man. Right? This is going to be the reason in the end, right? Okay, watch this, right? Perfect example. There was like, Master, like I casted out devils in your name. I did X, Y, Z in your name, right? You did all that with your flesh, right? But your spirit ain't right in you, man. Right? What's the Lord going to tell you? The Lord's going to tell you in that day, be gone, I never knew you, man, right? Because you could be doing X, Y, and Z, right? But if your spirit ain't in the right place, man, the Lord ain't gonna have a use for you, man, right?
Can I bring out a precept for that?
Absolutely, go ahead.
So look, I want to bring out a precept when it comes to people who keep the commandments, but your heart and your spirit's not right. Right? Here's an example. Right? This is 2 Chronicles chapter 25 from the top. It says Amaziah was 20 and 5 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 20 and 9 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Jehoiadan of Jerusalem. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, which is keeping the commandments, right? But not with a perfect heart. So you can keep the commandments, but you can do it not with a perfect heart, nor with a good spirit.
Bring that up, right?
Yeah, another one too.
So that's the Old Testament concept of not having the spiritual part of the law, man. Right?
Got another one. Salakia, if I mispronounce it. So Kayleen, right? I think this is the sister that made up with us in SAC. She says Proverbs 15 and 18. NIV says a hot-tempered person stirs up conflict, but the one who is patient calms a quarrel.
That's right. And shout out Kayleen, man. All right.
There was another verse. I'll just paraphrase it right in Sirach where it says basically you can blow on the flame to make it bigger, or you can spit on it to put it out. But everything you do with your tongue, man, it's all in control of what you're saying.
All right. So this is why it's imperative to watch what you do and watch what the other people what you're doing, right, as well, man. Watch what they're doing as well. Put it to these scriptures and see if these people are holding up to what they say they're supposed to do, man. Right? Because Christ came to give a spiritual aspect, right? We're supposed to be showing love to our brothers and sisters, even the ones that are not keeping the laws, right? And all different types of things they shouldn't be doing, man. Right? But we're supposed to show love to these people, bro. Right? We're supposed to tell these people not turn our back and start slandering and start backbiting and start talking down and breaking down our people. If you love your people, you're gonna correct them, right? Not talk smack about them, right? So obviously, let me see.
Have the fruits of spirit.
Yeah, Ephesians 5, man. You gotta have the fruits of the spirit, man. Right? And and it's crazy, right? Because there's a lot of people will put the writings of Paul above the writings of the Messiah, right? But when it comes to things like these, they lack in these things. They lack in the spirit. They lack in the fruits of the spirit, man. Right? Being patient, being kind, removing all bad, for the lack of words, bad words from your mouth and talking about people, right? We're supposed to renew our minds and not act like the ways we were when we were in the world, bro. Like I said in the beginning of this message, somebody should look at you and be like, man, he's different than everybody else, bro. So if you looking like everybody else, bro, you're not being a proper light, right? So let me see.
Someone had a preset too.
Go ahead.
Gonna get that.
Go ahead.
Tribe of Issachar says James 1 and 4. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing.
Right? And I'm gonna keep it a bug, man. Like, having patience is hard a lot of the time, bro. And sometimes people don't acknowledge that you're having patience. But like I did two classes ago that I made, I did a lesson. Go check it out. I had a lesson on patience as well, right? In that lesson, I had said that you might think that you might be helping somebody else with having patience, but really you're helping your own self at the end of the day if you have patience, man, right? There's studies that show that if you practice patience, you have lower cortisol levels, you have lower stress, you get lower chances of having a heart attack, strokes, X, Y, and Z, having fall to illnesses, right? So for you showing patience to another Black, Hispanic, or Native American, really you're helping yourself at the end of the day, bro, right? And people you might not acknowledge that at the moment, or you might look past that, bro. But it's not only helping that another person, you're also helping yourself at the end of the day, bro. There's people who rip their heads out and go crazy, bro, and like all different types of stuff.
That dude that just committed suicide in Berkeley.
Oh yeah, I don't really know too much about that. All I know is that there was a body found in a bush near here, right? But
Near here?
yeah.
Oh, you're right. It was up there. Huh?
There, yeah. They found that body.
I don't think they heard me if you want to just say that.
Right. What's it called? There was a like 2 days ago, 3 days ago, they found a body just a block away from us down the street over there, right? And you never know what people are going through at the end of the day, too, bro. Right? It's a fact though that Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans have the least rate of suicide, right? But you know, a lot of these people, right? A lot of these people do take their own lives, unfortunately, man. Right? Which we're highly against, man. Right? The Lord is the one that gives you life, and you shouldn't take it away, right? But go ahead.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 8.
Go ahead.
It says, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. And the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit.
The patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit, man. Right? So I could be all puffed up like, I know the X, Y, and Z, right? You don't know it, Like, you feel me? I could be all proud and puffed up because of it, right? But you're supposed to be patient. This is what is going to be. Patience is a virtue, man. Right? Patience pays off at the end of the day, man. Right? So that's basically what that's saying. We're supposed to have
That's
patience,
a great
man.
example too, right? Because if you ever notice, right, Saul, right, and I call Saul can't get right because he just couldn't get it right, no matter what he do, right. One of his biggest things was what? He was always hasty in every decision that he made.
Yeah.
Samuel told him, you sit here and you wait 7 days till I get back and everything is going to be all right. And what did he do? The minute that time was getting close and he was getting anxious and all that, when he did the exact opposite of what Samuel told him to do, and he's not knowing that what Samuel is telling him to do is what the Lord is telling him to do.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? The Lord wants you to be patient. Why? Because when you're not operating in patience, you don't make smart decisions.
Exactly.
And then when you don't make smart decisions, that leads to what? Ruin. So that's the biggest part about being patient. Is sometimes you gotta sit still and just wait.
You bro. You just gotta be patient, bro.
All he had to do was wait.
Yeah, all you gotta do is wait. Who's that? Who's that that went to go meet the conjurer, the familiar spirits?
Saul,
right?
yeah.
Listen, can't get right. Can't get right, bro. All you had to do was wait to see the outcome. But since you want to go ask who's gonna win, and you want to out of your own will, you can't be patient and trust the Lord. Look what you went and did, bro.
And what did Samuel say? He said, tomorrow you and your son are
die.
gonna be with me.
Right? Him and Absalom got taken up, man. Got their ghosts taken from them, man. Right? So we got to be more patient, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like there's so many types of right. There's lots of books, lots of even the heathens be knowing this stuff, right? There's guerrilla tactics when they go out to go to war with people, right? They'll cut off all the canals and highways to a city to make sure they're not getting food being brought in there, water, this, that, and the third. They'll wait until they're super dehydrated and famined and not eating until they're all weak and sick, and then they'll go and attack them, right? Having patience really is a virtue, bro, right?
And also, right, and I mean to cut you off, right? If you ever look at it, right, it's crazy that he said the heathen, they exercise this, right? Because if you look at it, the heathens, they exercise the most patience in doing what? Business investments. They take losses first before they get their wins because they're patient for the turnaround, right? They know that, okay, for the first year, maybe even 2, it's not going to turn around, but in the long run, it's going to turn around. We don't exercise that safe patience, right?
Now.
We like J.G. Wentworth, it's my money, I want it. You know what I mean?
That
But
part.
we have to, and if you think about it, right, you doing this and you obeying the Most High is a spiritual investment. Wait on your return.
Right, and that's actually a precept. Laying up treasures in heaven.
Yeah.
Right? So we're supposed to lay up treasures in heaven, man. Right? We're not out here trying to do this because we're getting paid or we're getting famous out here. You don't think all of us right now would rather be doing something else, right? But at the fact of the matter is, this is exactly what we want to be doing, right? Because the Lord had put the Spirit upon these men over here, right? So not just in words, but in action, right? So this is why we come out here week in and week out to tell our people, right? We have to change the narrative, change the mindsets of our people, and it starts in the mind, right? Shout out to Bart, man. It all starts in the mind, right? So then it starts to change your household, your everyday life, your household, then your neighborhood, then your state, then the whole kingdom. And Lord willing, us as a nation, you know what I'm saying, we get this as soon as possible, man. Right? That's the reason why we're out here, man. We're tired of this place, man. right? We're tired of this wicked system. We're tired of being oppressed by these damn heathens, man, right? We're doing this work because we love the Most High God, and we're establishing this place so when Hamashiach Yahushua returns, right, he's able to lead us in righteousness, and we won't have to go through the things that we went through, right? So, yeah, get that. And then Sirach 8:17.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9 and verse 4. For to him that is joined to all the living there is hope. For a living dog is better than a dead lion.
A living dog is better than a dead lion, bro. Sometimes it's better to have patience. Sometimes it's better to, right? You can be the toughest guy on the block, man. You can be Debo, bro. But sometimes Debo will fall too, bro. Right? Ice Cube hit him over the head with that brick, man. Right?
That's right.
Sometimes, just because you're the baddest, bro, that doesn't mean that you should always go and crash out, like I said earlier, bro. Right? Have patience. Think about it. You smart. Renew your mind, bro. You'd rather be a dog than a dead lion.
It's crazy how much they call people nerds in the street. Oh, you ain't with it. You a nerd. You a square. But them the ones that's living.
They're the ones, bro. I heard the toughest die first, bro. The toughest in the hood die first. Because there's always somebody bigger and badder than you, right? You might think you're the strongest, the fastest, there's more money. There's always somebody more that has more than you, bro. Right? There's always somebody that's stronger than you, faster than you, bro. None of that profits you in this day. But you know what is going to profit you? These laws, statutes, and commandments that the Most High God has given to our people. So we could stop moving the way that we do, bro. I'm tired of looking over my shoulder when I see my people looking at me with an evil eye, bro. I'm tired of seeing my talking to some sisters, you know, and they're trying to do X, Y, and Z for all different types of madness, man. Right? When I'm knowing that our sisters are daughters of the Most High God and our royalty, man. My brothers are not just gangsters and thugs, man. Right? You guys are royalty, man. And we got to be acting as such. We got to, like my brother said, we got to be eating as such. We got to be talking as such, walking as such, man. Right? Right? The Queen of England don't say.
You got a few precepts in there too. Yeah. This is a tribe of Issachar again. He put Proverbs 29:23. A man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit.
And it happens all the time, bro. Put the Bible aside. This happens to everybody. Like my brother was saying, bro. You apply these scriptures to anybody. Pink, purple, whatever. Yellow, right? Shout out Moab. But if you apply all these things, it'll benefit you, bro.
Just a quick shout out. The brother Izan the Strong, Shalom Izan, Shalom King.
Man. Shout out to Bloodline, man. Shout out Bloodline, man. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, what was I gonna say? Right. So all this is gonna benefit you in this day, man. How much more the children of God, bro? Right. So we're in these last days right now, and if y'all haven't noticed, what we doing isn't working, man. Right, everything we doing, and we done tried everything. We done tried stealing, to scamming, to drug dealing, to pimp and pandering, all different types of stuff, bro. This isn't what's helping. This isn't the answer, bro. This isn't the answer, right? We've been doing the same things. I got homies from my hood, 3 generations now, still doing the same thing on 16th and Mission. Sitting on a sidewalk, smoking dope, doing the same thing, bro. I'll be a damn fool to walk in that, get behind his steps, like the Bible says, and walk after and do what he does, man. Right? I had to turn away from all that, right? And follow somebody I can follow, somebody that didn't sin, man. Right? And that's Yahushua Mashiach, right? Who y'all call Jesus Christ, man. Right? He's the one that I turn to follow aside, man. Like how the Christians say, man, I let Jesus take the wheel. Right?
God.
Now, when I was in a Christian church, I did hear something, right? They're like, your body is like a car. You ride a passenger. You either gonna let Yahushua drive or you gonna let the devil drive. Either way, it's gonna be your choice, right? So you got to be able to, the spirit of Yahushua, like the brother had pointed, the spirit of Jesus didn't let me do that, right? But when you look at Judas, when he dipped the bread in the sauce or whatever, and he ate it, that spirit of Satan hopped in him, man. You gotta be able to ask yourself, look yourself in the mirror and ask you, what spirit is in me right now beside me, man? Because this ain't just the flesh, man. A lot of people forget about the spirit just because you can't see it, right? This is why dealing in that flesh, man, you start to lose your spiritual lenses, bro. And you gotta be able to catch that before it's too late, man. Right?
Look up a precept. There's one precept that says examine yourself in the New Testament.
It's people crazy out here in Berkeley, man.
In North Berkeley, man.
Shout out Berkistan, man.
Big North Burke.
North Berk.
Behind bars.
Berkistan.
Don't free him.
Top hat.
Don't free him. The top hat. Don't free the top hat, man.
Yeah, I think so.
I got it right here.
Go ahead.
2 Corinthians chapter
What's up,
13
buddy?
and
Hey, you
5.
believe in Jesus, man?
I'm atheist, sorry.
Atheist? Is that a cross on your neck? Is that a cross? Oh, okay.
It's an unk.
It's an ankh. That's not what atheists wear.
Right.
that goes back to the
Egyptian.
Oh, what is it? It
It's
wasn't
like a-
L, was it? The ankh.
It was the T.
It's an ankh. Right. Anyways, that ankh, man, it's crazy because we see that cross-like symbol in Egypt. We see that in Babylonia, and then now we see it in the Christian church. People rocking that cross, man. Yeah, the Talmud, the Tia Tammuz.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, man. So, trying to tell the brothers to stop rocking these idols, man. Right? That ankh ain't gonna do nothing for you, bro. It's just another idol, man. Just another idol, bro. What's up, bro? Go ahead.
2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not that your own selves, how that Jesus Christ is in you, except ye be reprobates?
Right? So examine yourself unless you be a reprobate, bro. Put yourself to the test, man. Right? See how far you could go without doing X, Y, and the third, man. Right? And for you brothers that are not keeping the commandments, bro, just start now, man. Right? Try to see how long you could go, bro. That's how I started. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take that first step and I'm gonna start keeping the laws, man. Right? I didn't know I was gonna be here 7 years later, right? But guess what? It started with a step, man. And I implore that you guys do that as well, man. Right? And I was just thinking about this the other day, bro. I was driving just by myself thinking about this, bro. My life has become so much better since I started keeping the laws, bro. My life has turned around since I started keeping the laws, bro. At one point when I wasn't keeping the laws, I was on the verge of death. I was homeless. I was broke. I was dirty. I was musty. Right?
Now I smell good.
Now I smell good. Nah, but for real though, the Lord. Now I keep the laws. The Lord provide me with a car. I got my own spot. I got a rib. I got this and that. Like, you feel me? I got a cool job. And I'm able to do this work, bro. I give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, bro. Because I could really look back and see that I was in darkness, like the brother brought out, bro. We're not children of darkness. We're children of light, man. Right? And you got something?
She had a precept.
Go ahead.
So the sister Kayleen again, she put Matthew 6:33 in the NLT. It says, "Seek the kingdom of God above all else, and live righteously, and He will give you everything you need."
That's a good precept, sis. Right? So put him above everything. He gonna give you everything you need, bro. Right? Seek the kingdom first, man. Right? And everything else shall be added on to you, right? Like it says in Matthew 6:33, I believe. Right? So we're supposed to be keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, right? But not also because you get a car or a place to stay, but you do this because you love and you fear the Most High God. You love your people, bro. This is why, right? But like the Bible says, everything gets added onto you, right? The Lord's gonna provide for you, bro, and that's what happens.
It's like an add-on.
Go ahead.
This is the book of John, chapter 8 and verse 12.
Go ahead.
Then spake Yahushua again unto them, saying,
Read.
I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life.
Right? So you're gonna have that light of life, bro. Right? And what's Proverbs say that light is, bro? The law is a lamp, man. Right? That law is a light, and we're supposed to be shining it, and it guideth our steps, like the brother said, man. Right? Powerful war dog, man. Right? So we have to be able to exhibit this light to the world, bro. Right? Practice patience, practice love, right? Practice renewing of your mind, man. Right? Because all this foolish ways of the world is all in vain, bro. Right? I know people that spent their whole life, right, trying to put in work for like a gang or organization or on drugs and build up money just for them to hit their first 100,000 and die right there, and you didn't even get to spend it. Just for them to get that rank, a high ranking member, just to go spend their life in jail for the rest of their life and not be able to, live it, right? None of this stuff, all of this stuff is vain at the end of the day, bro, right? Seek the Most High God, right now while you can, right? Right now it's a better time to seek Him, right? Instead of when you're seeing missiles fall from the sky over here in America, man, right? When you're seeing that there's no longer food schools, Sam Clubs, Safeways, food schools, all that, right? Don't wait until that moment, right? Don't tarry, right? Seek the Lord right now while you still have a chance, man. Keep these law, statutes, and commandments. Show your people that you love them.
There's a few things. Hold on.
Go ahead.
So, before I get to the other point, so Still Black Jesus says, so this is the year of Jubilee. Can you please explain this being the year of Jubilee a bit more? First of all, no one said it was a year of Jubilee up here, brother. Right? The other point is that's in the land of Israel. The only way to know what's going on over there is by being in the land and doing the things that are required from the year of Jubilee.
Yeah,
so
I gotta be
know.
growing crops for 6 years in the land where the name of the Lord is. Don't work. And then on that 7 year, yeah. And on that
for 49 years.
And on that seventh year we would rest in the land. But
Right.
we're not saying we're in the year of Jubilee, nor are we in our land, nor are we growing crops for us to take the land to rest. Because that's what it's talking about. It's talking about the land being put to rest for that year. And we're supposed to save up as much food during that time to make it into the next year so we can next cycle because of agriculture.
Right. So the other point, like how you were saying, that's why I had a Rog at Sirach too. Because sometimes you come into the truth, right, and you think like how you're saying you'll get all these things, right? The Lord will bless you. Sometimes the Lord is going to test you first to see if you're even worthy of everything. Like for example, I use this example. There was a brother, right, in an organization that makes a lot of money, right? He was making a whole lot of money before he joined us. And then joined us and said, bro, everything just went bad. As soon as I told y'all, I don't know what's going on right now. But it's the Lord, man. The Lord is trying to make sure that you're on point with everything, man.
You got that?
Right, go ahead.
I got it. The book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord,
So if you come to serve the Lord, go ahead.
prepare thy soul for temptation.
Prepare thy soul for temptation. The Lord's going to try you, man. Right? Go ahead.
Set thine heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble.
Make not haste. What's that mean? Be patient. That's what we're trying to tell our people, bro.
Right.
Be patient. Don't be hasty, man. Keep going. Right.
Versículo 3. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
Right? So don't leave the Most High, bro. Don't leave the ways of Yahushua and the ways of our ancestors, right? Cleave on to him, right? So these things should end up right with you, bro. Right? So, what did you say? Damn, I was gonna say something.
And also understanding this truth, you have a lot, right? Because a lot of brothers come into the truth and they see another powerful teacher, and he might know precepts off the back, or this teacher might be good in prophecy, right? Every lot is not your lot, right? So understand your spiritual gift, hone on that, and increase that. And understand that you have your own, as a piece of the body, because we're all a piece of the body, and every part of the body has a different function. So when you figure out what your function is of the body, hone on that, and don't worry about what another brother's spiritual gift is. You know what I mean? Focus on what you're good at, and then use that gift, and then multiply it.
Yeah, don't covet another brother's gift, man. Right? And the Lord can bless you with multiple gifts, man. And they might just bless me with one, bro. It is what it is. Like, you just stick to where you're heading at and build, bro, increase, bro, and be my biggest thing, bro, is be of service to Yahushua. Don't be some dude he can't use, bro. Don't be some dude you did that isn't profitable to nothing, bro. Be somebody that Yahushua can use, bro. Right? But I don't got too much more. Give me
And
Sirach 8 and 17.
and bro had a precept too. The brother Nicholas Jacobs. Isaiah 55 and 6 says, "Seek ye the Lord while he may be found.
Right.
Call ye upon him while he is near."
Right. So call upon him while he is near, bro. Right. There's gonna be a time where he's gonna laugh at our calamity and turn his face away from us when we're crying, bro. And I pray that myself and none of these men up here, right, and none of the brothers and sisters watching this have to go through that, bro. This is why we're doing this, right? This is why we're following the law, statutes, and commandments, bro. We're praying that we're not of that people, man. We're praying we're of that number, right? You know, hopefully, man. So, you got that?
Yep.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 8, and verse 17 in the GNT.
Bring it out.
You should not ask a stupid person for advice.
Don't ask a stupid person for advice.
He will not be able to keep secret what you tell him.
He ain't gonna be able to shut his mouth, man. Right? He gonna run up and down the block telling you your whole business, man. Right? You might go to a brother like, "Hey, bro, my girl ain't been telling me I ain't been, you know what I'm saying, doing it right, man. What should I do?" He might tell you like, "Hey, I think you should do X, Y, and Z, do this, that, and the third," right? And he gonna turn around and be like, "Hey, bro, you know what Brett just told me? He just told me this, that, and third, man." And he gonna go run off, and then, you know what I'm saying? He might even tell you good advice. That's why it says don't ask for a stupid person for advice. They're gonna tell you some folly, man. Right? He might tell. I might be like, "Bro, I'm stressing. I don't know how I'm supposed to get through the day right now. I feel like ripping my hair out, right?
Let's go rob him.
Yeah, let's go rob him." Or, "Okay, just smoke this blunt, man. Or just pop this perk, man." Right? Well, if I were to go to my brother right here, he gonna tell me to fast, pray, get your mind right, get your spirit right, right? Because there's something going on, man.
Hey, you
right?
know what it's like? You ever seen those Disney movies where it's like the football jocks, and then they got the little people behind them, and then they'll like just copy anything he says. They'll be like, "I like pizza," and then the football jocks like,
y'all like pizza.
"I don't like pizza." And they're like, "Yeah, I don't like pizza." Like,
We love pizza. We love.
I got a precept for you. And this is to go with the brother what he's talking about repeating what you hear and him not being able to keep his mouth shut, right?
Right.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 19, and I'm gonna start at verse 6. It says
19
avoid
is fire.
it says avoid idle talk, and you will avoid a lot of trouble.
Right.
Never repeat what you hear, and you will have no regrets.
Bro, Sirach 19 is fire. Sirach 19 is fire, bro. Yeah, really the whole Sirach, but chapter 19 is fire, bro.
Yeah.
23 is fire too.
Got a precept in here too.
Go ahead.
So,
Yeah, shout
tribe
out
of
to
Issachar,
Sirach.
man. Shout out Issachar, man. You show them how powerful the tribe is, man, right? Matazah.
Brother, man.
So this is 1 Corinthians 3 and 13. It says, "Every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire, and the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is."
Right? And some people, bro, that fire hitting, they gonna fold, bro. Some inconveniences, they might not feel like it. They gonna fold, bro.
Might not feel.
Yeah, I don't really feel like it. They're gonna be the first one to fold when shit really goes down, bro.
Yeah.
When shit turns bad, 25. When stuff goes bad, when stuff goes bad, bro.
Say that here. Hold on. Say that one more time.
Now you all good.
I'm just asking.
You say that one more
I'm
time.
just trying.
What was your question?
Pro Jesus, but like not white Jesus, or not as it's depicted, but like pro Jesus.
You got it.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for reading the sign. I ain't gonna lie.
The
A lot
top
of
was a little disorienting.
it is quite confusing, but we do this ultimately to catch people's eyes. But you got the message perfectly. So we're pro Jesus, right? But that's not Jesus,
Gotcha.
right? But a lot of people believe that's Jesus, right? We see it in movies, TV shows, books, Instagram, whatever the case may be, right? So yes, you're correct.
All right.
Guys, have a good one.
All right. Prepare for slavery.
what was that?
I said it. Nah, but you got some? Go ahead.
So this is going into like when brothers fold as soon as the fire comes, right? So this is what Solomon said, right? This is Proverbs chapter 24 and 10.
Uh-huh.
It says, if you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small.
If you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small, bro. Your faith is small. You a small man. That's what you is. You little bro. You little guy, right? But you're not supposed to be like that. You're supposed to be standing strong and firm. What was that scripture you brought out? They were supposed to be obedient, but they're rebellious like their forefathers, right? They didn't hold firm.
75.
Yeah, Psalm 75 or 6. They didn't hold firm, bro. We're supposed to firmly grasp this truth, man, and not let go, bro.
Yeah. Hey, look, man, and obviously we could just always tie it back to street stuff, man. That's all we grew up knowing, analogies like that, bro. Say you trying to be a dope dealer, but as soon as you're in the back of that cop car, you're not a dope dealer no more. Now you running your lips on everybody that was in the set now, right? You folded.
Information they ain't even asked.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
You know Rodney up the street. You don't even talk
We're
about
not worried about Rodney. Listen, you didn't even hear what I said about Rodney yet. We're not worried about Rodney.
You're gonna be worried about Rodney right now.
Hey, no, it's funny too. I seen an interview, right? 50 Cent said, bro, he told them every crime for the last 20 years. He said the DM was like, bro, chill, you gonna make them think I ain't doing my job. Like, for real, that's really how it be, man. People be folding, man, when that pressure going on. You gotta be able to stand on what you believe in. If you ready to be in that life and commit them actions, man, remember what comes behind it. That's why the Bible always tells you, count the cost.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Before you start building it and going into stuff, count the cost, bro.
And I'm gonna be also real with you. It's the same walking into this truth. Prepare yourself, right? Because stuff is gonna go bad, bro. You gonna get hit. You gonna get hit where you feel it at, man. Where you really feel it at, man. Right? And you gotta be able to walk through and gird thyself up like a man. And show Yahweh that you ain't no sucker out here, bro. You really love the Most High God, and you really out here riding, and you're putting in that work for your spot, man.
Hey,
right?
and look, we think we got it hard, right? Job had two spiritual entities waging on his life. Like I bet he fold. Nah, I don't think he gonna fall. I bet he won't. like come on now, you wouldn't even understand what that is when Satan just wanna like, you know what, let me just do anything I can to get him to break. You know what I mean?
And he ain't even doing nothing, bro. Imagine that, bro. And there's people out here that really be doing stuff, right, and expect to be treated like Job. Job didn't even do nothing, bro. Job didn't even do nothing. And he still had to be put through. How much more are we worth it that have sinned unto death, man? Right? Us that have done atrocities, bro, right? This is why it's imperative, bro.
I mean, Yahweh Shai being a perfect man, he had to go through.
He had to go through it, man.
Come on, and that's the Most
Quiet
High.
as it's kept, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like that's the Most High's only begotten Son, and guess what? He didn't give him no exemption from being under them curses and having to go through what being a child of God is all about. Yeah. He had to go through it just like we did. So who are you? Who are we?
Who are we, man? All right. So this is. All right. So this is why we do what we do, bro. This is why we out here on the corners. You know what I'm saying? Looking like madmen, looking crazy, right? I'll look crazy for my Messiah. I'll look crazy for my King, bro, and for my God, bro. Right? If that means that I can get at least one of my people to stop living in death, right, and come to the life. I'll risk looking crazy, bro. I don't care, bro. I really don't care, man. Right? So, let me see. Matthew 4:19, and then Matthew 15:14.
GNT or regular?
Regular.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 4 and verse 19. And he said unto them, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men.
Right? Follow Yahweh Shai, bro. Don't be following around Joel Osteen. Don't be following around Cleflo Dollar. Don't be following around Malcolm X, right? Don't be following around all these people, bro. Follow after Yahweh Shai, bro. Right? Man, matter of fact, don't even follow after me. Follow after Yahweh Shai, bro. You see me going off, cut me off. Right? Follow Yahweh Shai, bro. It says follow him and he'll make you fishers of men, right? And what are we supposed to do? Be bringing these people in and fishing our people to bring them into this truth, man. All right? You got that?
Precept on that point right there, on what you just said. So the sister Kayleen put 1 Corinthians 4:10, we are fools for Christ's sake, but ye are wise in Christ. We are weak, but ye are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised.
Right? And I'd rather be despised, bro. I'd rather be like, man, you see them refiner dudes? They telling y'all to do this and that, right? Yeah. This Exakari, those one Westers, right? I'd rather be called a fool. I'd rather be hated on, talked down on, right? If I'm just trying to love my people and trying to tell them to keep the laws, bro. Right? I'll do that. I'll be all that for that, man.
That's right.
Precept.
Go ahead.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, and verse 21. For even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps.
That we should follow his steps, bro. Right? These are the steps, right? And who is more worthy than a man to follow than Christ, bro? Who?
And you know what too? Another reason why we don't care about what people got to say to us is because Christ told us years ago. He said, you know that the world's gonna hate you. The world has hated me. You guys follow me, the world gonna hate you as well, man.
Yeah, just know they hated me first, bro.
Exactly.
That's what he said, and that's what it is, bro. That's why we're not worried about being put up on the ADL, bro. We're not worried about being labeled all different types of stuff from this world, right? I'd be worried if the world accepted us. I'd be worried if they were pushing. They came to us like, hey, we love this. Like Amalek come up to us like, hey, sign this contract. We want you to keep doing this. Matter of fact, here I'm gonna give you an hour on Netflix live special. This time in the third, just keep doing what you're doing. They want
check all that.
Yeah, they want us to stop doing this, bro. This is how I know this is the truth, man. Right? This is how I know they don't want. Yeah, you got some?
Oh, you finish your thought.
This is how I know that they don't want people listening to this, man. Right? Hearkening onto the words of the Most High God. Right?
The brother Nicholas Jacobs put Romans 8:18. This is one of my favorite scriptures, bro. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Right? It ain't nothing, bro. Right? When that glory gets revealed in us, bro. Right? When we show upon it in that day, everybody's gonna see it in that day, bro. Right? It's like it.
Yeah, Matthew 15.
Matthew 15 and 14, right?
Yeah.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15 and verse 14. Let them alone. They be blind, leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch.
Read that again.
It says, this is Matthew 15 and 14. Let them alone. They be blind, leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch.
So we are here. Our people, bro, right? We're blind out here. We're spiritually blind, bro. We can't see. We can't distinguish from left and right, right? We don't know our left from our right. That's how bad our people got it, bro. Right? So we have to be careful also around the people that you're around, because there's a saying, right? Show me who you're with, I'll show you who you are, right? Yeah, there you go, right? Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are, right? And people like to say like I'm my own person, like, but if you start to be around these people, it's only natural that they start to pick up these attributes of the people around you, man. Right? It's only natural, right? So that's what the Bible tells you over and over again, that you have to remove yourself from these individuals. I'm not telling you to not love these people. There are people, you love them, right? But if they're not trying to get right, like King Saul, Mr. Can't get right, you got to remove yourself away, bro. Right? These people, and also, right, because they blind, right? And what's gonna happen? They're gonna make you get some cataracts, man, some glaucoma. You gonna start your left eye, and you ain't gonna be able to see no more, bro. Right? And now you're just following after the sound of a blind person's voice, and y'all gonna fall in a ditch together, right? two blind people on the corner talking like, yeah, we got this. Whoa, y'all both blind. Y'all don't even know it. Y'all can't even see because y'all got spiritual eyes, right? And this is why you got to be careful about who you following, who you around, who you talking to, who you function with, bro.
Right.
All right. All right. If there's one thing about a Raw, I know if I mess up, he gonna tell me straight to my face, bro. And he'll be like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" Right? He don't care about my feelings, bro. And that's what I appreciate about this brother, man. He gonna tell me when I'm going off, man. He's a nice guy. Right? So, what's it called? I only got like. You get that?
It's the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 12 in the NASB 20.
Go ahead.
For we do not presume to rank to compare ourselves with some of those who to commend themselves. But when they measure themselves by themselves and compare themselves with themselves, they have no understanding.
So they have no understanding, bro. I'm not gonna compare to myself to another man and just leave it at that, bro. Right? Cause let me see. So I'm not trying to compare myself and be like, oh man, like I know more breakdowns than him. I learned that breakdown before him. Or like, yeah, I was holding. What, you only hold camp one day a week? We hold camp 2 days a week. Like, bro, that ain't nothing, bro. Stop comparing yourself to other people. At the end of the day, that don't mean nothing, bro.
Like a perfect example, even in scripture, right? Like, because obviously that's between a church, right?
Yeah.
So it's churches talking amongst themselves, and people in that church is being like, well, me and you, we're good, and this is all we know. But when Christ in Revelation writes to a church, he tells them straight up, I have some problems with y'all. But guaranteed in that church, they were like, yep, we're good, this and that. But
Exactly.
someone else comes in and checks y'all's spirit, then there's something wrong, because you guys were so worried about just comparing each other with each other instead of looking at it in the bigger picture.
Yeah, that church of Nicolation, man. Right? Like it speaks of Revelation, bro. He had to tell him, hey, repent before I come fight you with the sword of my mouth, man. Right? In that day, man. Right? And I ain't trying to fight against the sword of Yahushua, bro. Right? Call me scared. I'm scared. I'm scaredy cat,
Terrified.
bro. Shiver me timbers in my boots, man.
Oh my God.
It's a tall guy, man. Right? But let's see. Give me a Ciroc 6 and 34.
You want a regular TNT?
Regular's fine. And Ciroc 6 and 36.
You said 6 and 34?
Yeah.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 34. Stand in the multitude of the elders,
Right.
and cleave unto him that is wise.
Right. Cleave unto him that is wise, man. Go ahead.
Be willing to hear every godly discourse.
Right. Be willing to hear every godly discourse, bro. You can't just shut it out like I don't want to deal with that. Nah, I'm cool. Be quick to hear every godly discourse. Go ahead.
And let not the parables of understanding escape thee.
Don't let the parables of understanding escape you. Right. You ain't gonna understand. You ain't gonna understand if you don't try. Right. You got to be able to hear every godly discourse. Right. And go into it, bro. Right. And be able to.
I hear every godly discourse.
Hey, this is my last one.
That's all good.
Go ahead.
From verse 36. And if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him, and let thy foot wear the steps of his door.
Right. So you gotta be able to wear the steps of his door. And at the end of the day, you either walking behind the steps of a man that's gonna lead you to destruction, or you're gonna be walking in the steps of Yahushua that's gonna bring you to life, man. Right. And are there any other questions on there? Any precepts or anything before we close out, man? I just want to appreciate y'all. Hey, like, share, and subscribe to the video, man. Check out our YouTube page. Check out our Instagram at refinerscamp _camp and on us on TikTok, man. Right. And with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh. We do so in the name of His only begotten Son, for the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, man. We're the refiners, man. Shalom. Shalom.